Hello everyone, it's Meg. Welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be going through the books that I want to read that are on my spring TBR. I must admit I do like the idea of doing those TBR jars, and I think I might do that for the summer because I haven't been organised enough to sort prompts and stuff like that. Because I would love to do monthly TBRs, but unfortunately I don't really read enough for there to be any point in me doing monthly ones. So I tend to do seasonal TBRs instead, and as a mood reader it does kind of help me narrow down my choices so that I do actually get my physical TBR read. So I have 7 books on my spring TBR, one of which is a manga series, and that might not seem like a lot, but like I said, there is technically more than 7 books because I have a series on this list. And also your girl is a slow reader. So we are going to talk about the books. I'm really excited to read all of these. I have high hopes for a lot of them. So we're just going to go in the order that I have the stack in. And the first one that we have is a poetry collection because, hallelujah, I have actually read a poetry collection this year, which is amazing because I read 0 last year. However, I have a reading vlog which will be up before this. I think it will be up before this video. It might be the previous video before this one, where I went book shopping. I will leave it in the description if it is already out. And I basically went book shopping to replenish my poetry collection because I have a lot of I don't have loads of poetry books in my TBR. However, the ones that I do, I'm not very inspired to read. So I need some books that I'm going to be inspired to read that I think I'll actually enjoy. So one of those books that I got is The Orange and Other Poems by Wendy Cope. I really love the poem The Orange by Wendy Cope, which, hence the cover of this book. And I know a lot of other people do as well, and I've been wanting to read more poems by her for ages, and I think this came out maybe last year, maybe the year before. And I thought it was just it's a very skinny copy. And I just thought it would be a nice introduction to more of Wendy Cope's poetry because I don't think I've read anything else by her off the top of my head. And she is known as the queen of daily poems. So I'm really excited to read this. I feel like there's just something about it. I feel like it's a very good spring or summer read. All of her poems are quite short, which I appreciate because as somebody who is also a poet, I like writing shorter poems, and I also like reading shorter poems. So I'm really excited to read this. I really hope I like it, and I'll definitely let you guys know what I think once I've finished it. Next up we have a non-fiction, which is Hood Feminism, Notes from the Women White Feminists Forgot by Mickey Kendall. I believe this is one of the books on my top 10 books I want to read in 2025, and I got this for Christmas and I've wanted to read it forever. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I really want to read more feminist non-fiction because I read a relatively good amount of feminist fiction, but I want to read more feminist non-fiction because obviously it can help kind of expand my knowledge on feminism. And I'm filming this video at the beginning of March, and I believe March is it Women's History Month or something like that, and it's also International Women's Day next week from when I am filming this video. So I'm really excited to read this. Like I said, I've heard nothing but good things, and I think it's going to be very incisive and very interesting, and it's definitely going to be an extremely important read as well. Next up we have the Horror Mia manga series, and I am actually already reading this. I'm on volume 7, which is why I have this now. Horror Mia is probably one of my favourite animes that I have ever watched. I absolutely adore it, and I wanted to obviously read the manga, and I do have all of them. There are 17 volumes in total, and like I said, I'm on volume 7. It's just such a fun slice of life anime, and I really love the friendships and the friendship group in this series. It's so adorable. I love all of the characters and kind of their relationships with one another, and just how they vibe. I don't know, how they vibe off one another. It's just stunning, I wish I had a high school experience like that, but it was absolutely totally the opposite. So I'm just enjoying taking my time reading this, and when I have finished reading the series I am definitely going to go back and re-watch the anime and watch the episodes that are in order of like the comic, if you see what I mean, because there's two seasons. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing that, and I'm really enjoying my time reading this series as well. Next we have Making It by Laura Kay. I read a couple of books by Laura Kay in the past and I've really enjoyed them. I really enjoy her writing, her stories, her characters, and I am particularly excited about this book because it follows our main character called Izzy, and she ends up getting her dream job at a art studio, so she has to move into London away from her family and her mum, and she has to live in a house share with her chinchilla. And this book also deals with mental health, I think specifically depression. And it's basically like a story of like Izzy kind of expanding her horizons, opening her world up to a lot of firsts, like relationships, new friendships, obviously a new job that's creative, and kind of how she tackles that, again with dealing with her mental health. And I'm really looking forward to reading this. I think it's going to be definitely a very fun read, but I think it'll also have like a lot of depth to it as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this book, and I feel like the cover is very spring, you know, the colours are popping for all the spring flowers. So this is going to be my next read, I believe, after a couple of other books that I have, but this is one I want to get to very, very soon. Next we have Bellies by Nicola Dinnan, and I got this book in my book advent calendar from Redbird's Books, and I am really looking forward to reading this book. I wasn't originally going to put it on this TBR, but I needed like another book to kind of bulk this stack out a bit. And this is one of the ones that I'm most interested in reading. So it's about our main characters, Tom and Ming, and they meet at university and fall in love. And then one day Ming announces that they want to transition. So it's about, from what I gather, about their relationship whilst Ming transitions. And I'm really looking forward to this. And I also know that Nicola had a book came out fairly recently, I think it's called Disappoint Me, which sounds really stunning, but I want to read this first before I get to that book. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be such a good read. I have high hopes for this. I really hope it doesn't let me down. And another good point about this book, very small, but it's floppy. And I really love a floppy paperback. It's so satisfying. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to this book. And like I said, have very high hopes for it. Next we have A Game of Scandal by Laura Wood, and this is one of my most anticipated releases of the year. Again, it's another book that I think is going to be 5-star prediction. To be honest with you, don't think I've ever rated a Laura book less than 5 stars, so yeah, high hopes, high hopes. This is the third book in these like Enquiries series. I don't really know what it's called. It's like a companion series basically, set in like the Victorian London, and this follows our main character Felicity, and I think she's basically very clever and she wants to go to university, but obviously since she is a high society woman, like living in high society London, she is not allowed to do that. So I think she basically takes up gambling to try and win the fees to get into university, and then the person who's Ash who owns the gambling place basically accuses her of cheating, and then somehow it all spirals into that. And the Avery, which is this secret society run by women who basically get revenge on horrible men, which is a part of all of the books in the series, somehow get involved. Don't know much more than that. I'm actually going to return this copy because I have a dedicated signed copy coming from Mr. B's Emporium. So I need to return this because it's just a book that I got from Waterstones. But I'm so excited to read this book. This is actually going to be my next book. After I finish Horimiya, it's going to be this, I think, and then Making It by Laura Kay. So yeah, I love it, and I love the spine. All of these books in this series have stunning spines. I can't wait to put them all together on my shelf. It's going to be so beautiful. And the last book that I have is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. and I plan to listen to this via audiobook because Spotify now do audiobooks, which I think is stunning. And I love audiobooks. I'm just very bad at actually listening to them. So I want to make a conscious effort this year to listen to more audiobooks because my physical TBR is probably the biggest it has been in quite a while, and I want to dwindle that down. So obviously audiobooks help because it means I can listen to them whilst also reading other physical books on my TBR. Obviously this is a very popular book. I think it's been out for a couple of years now. I don't know much apart from the fact that it's about two characters. I think when they're younger they meet at a hospital. It's kind of about them growing up and their relationship together, and gaming is involved. I don't really know any more than that. And I have been a bit scared to try this book just because the hype has been so real over it. But I want to give it a go. I want to see what I think, see what all the hype is about, and I hope that the audiobook is going to be a good choice for me. We will see, because it is quite a long book. It's like over 450 pages. So I'd rather listen to the audiobook. So we'll see how I go with this. Like I said, I really hope I like it as much as other people have. I hope it lives up to the hype, but we will see. I'm just going to try and go in kind of like with no expectations whatsoever, and just see how I get on. So those are all the books that I am hoping to get to this spring, and I just wanted to give you like a spine moment, by the way. I feel like the books at the top in particular are just like screaming spring. They're just flowers and like bright colours and all that sort of thing, because I am so looking forward to spring, if you can't tell, and I'm really excited to read these books, and I really hope that they all live up to my expectations. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books and which ones you think I should get to first. Like I said, I have a little bit of an order of the ones that I want to get to, but let me know the ones you think I should definitely prioritise in the comments down below, and some books that you are planning to read during spring. I feel like it's a bit subjective kind of in like the subject or like the genre that people tend to read during spring, but I guess for me it's usually kind of like slightly lighter books, or books that kind of go with themes throughout the month, like reading a feminist book during Women's History Month and all that sort of thing. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. I will leave the links to my Goodreads, Fable and social media in the links down below if you would like to see more bookish content that you will not find on this channel. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and hopefully I will see you again very soon. Bye guys!